Welcome to another edition of Highliner News. I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Autumn. Did you know that there are a pair of siblings that have the same position at the high school?
Reporters Elijah Drummond and Cadence Keatsman share their story.
What is your relation?
Well, Mr. Grumman is my younger brother. Actually, he's the youngest of 6 siblings. So the baby, and he's the only boy.
Mrs. Egermont is actually my older sister.
What is your favorite memory?
I just remember him when he came home from the hospital. Since we were older, we really thought it was pretty awesome to have a little brother.
Wintertime, we would always have our 3-wheeler, and we would always put a sled on the back with a rope and just dragging across the yard and just doing fun stuff in the wintertime.
What are some similarities you have?
We're both tall, dark hair, dark eyes, and I feel we both have good personalities.
While she's very organized, I am almost always organized, so work in progress. But yeah, that, and she's very punctual, and so am I. We like to be on time or earlier.
What are some of the differences you have?
I know Mrs. Egermont is a huge shopper, so she loves to go to Fargo and shop, and I don't. I like to not shop and save my money and stay home.
He kind of likes to just stay home and do his own thing at home. I enjoy kind of going out and being busy and doing different activities.
What do you like about working with each other?
What I like is that we can talk and collaborate. She has the same position as me, so I ask her for tips all the time, and the collaboration and working together that way is the most fun to me.
I guess the one thing I really do enjoy the most is getting to see him more, because we're always really busy. It seems he does his thing with his family and I do my thing with mine, so that's been kind of fun.
For Highliner News, this is Elijah Drummond.
Coming up next, reporters Jack Samuelson and Cameron Huffstetler have a What's in the Box challenge.
Let's find out who is brave enough to uncover the hidden items.
Today, we'll be interviewing unsuspecting students with the What's in the Box challenge.
And if they guess it right, they get some candy. First contestant, Kellen Westman. Right.
Am I reaching it now? It's like a skull.
You're correct.
Yes! Let's begin. Close them eyes. What's your final guess?
Is it brains?
Close. It's actually pumpkin guts.
Oh!
Is it like ketchup?
Why'd you go in with 2 hands? Okay, what's your final guess?
Ketchup mixed with slime, I think. I don't know.
It's Go-Gurt. No candy for you.
Corbin Powell. For a chance to win candy, he has to guess what's in the box. You may begin.
It's a rat, isn't it?
What's your final guess?
Is it a rat?
You are correct. You may remove the blindfold. Candy. Take your pick. Today, we surveyed and scratched the minds of many Highliners to see if they could guess what was in the box.
Thank you to all of our contestants who we spooked dearly today on this October afternoon. For Highliner News, this is Jack
And Cameron.
Looking for a new place to eat? Reporters Faith Schmidt and Cameron Huffstetler bring you the story.
There's a new taco shop open in Valley City.
My name is Elena Iverson. I am an owner, manager, cook, and front of house staff. We opened July 29th. It was, if not 29th, the 28th. It was a Monday for the soft opening, and then Tuesday was the grand opening for people, but we didn't really announce it. It is 10 to 8, but on Saturdays I started opening up early so people could come have breakfast for next door.
Preparing food has always been a part of Elena's life.
I was catering, I like to cook. I worked in restaurants in the past, but otherwise it just happened to be an opportunity and we jumped at it. For burritos, the carne asada burrito, it's just steak, guac, and grilled onions. The California burrito is French fries, steak, cheese, and guacamole. For the tacos, all the tacos have been popular. For the nachos, it's been the Supreme Nachos.
There's many items on the menu, but she has claimed a favorite.
So far, it's been the Maxima. It's 6 different types of meat, rice, and beans, and I do not like my burritos smothered, so that one comes dry, unless people ask for it smothered.
For Highlander News, this is Cameron Hufstetler.
Halloween is next week. Reporters Autumn Anderson and Jessa Cook asked students and staff what they are dressing up as for Halloween.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
A minion. I want to be Harley Quinn. By Wayne Gretzky.
Slim Reaper.
Ladybug. A T-Rex.
I'm gonna be Gru.
I want to be like Mickey Mouse.
I'm gonna be a bunny.
Puppy Playtime. Ninja.
John Pork.
I want to be Ladybug. And I want to be an ice dragon for Halloween. Because I really like dragons.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
A big surprise.
For Highlander News, this is Autumn Anderson. There is a new teacher at VCHS. Reporters Rafael Rivera and Corbin Powell introduce you to Miss Van Pearsum.
My name is Riley Van Pearsum. My job at VCHS is to be the band and choir director or music director for 7 through 12. I grew up in Lemoore, North Dakota, and I went to Valley City State University for my college education. As soon as I stepped foot on campus, I was in love with it. Since I graduated Valley City, I've married my husband, Jonathan Van Pearsum, and we have one daughter, and we have another kid on the way currently. I would say that it is challenging and exciting all at the same time. I think it's incredible to have kids with different perspectives and views and morals all come together in one room, and we just make music together. I think it's a really amazing thing. I get to have jazz ensemble now, and that's really exciting for me. So I get to add that onto my plate and do something that has a little bit more, requires a little more intrinsic motivation. And there's something about Valley City that is so very special. And if I were to put it into words, I would say that it's the sense of community in the hallways, in the classrooms, at the grocery store, wherever you go in Valley City, there's a smile on someone's face as you walk past them.
This is Corbin Powell reporting for Highlander News.
What would your teachers be if they were animals?
Reporters Leah Hochhalter and Elijah Drummond adventure through the high school to find out.
Based on her personality, what would Mrs. Kruger be as an animal?
An orange cat.
A golden retriever.
When I think of Mrs. Kruger, I think of like green. I don't know if that makes sense, but she gives off gecko vibes.
A lemur.
What do you think Mr. Backlar would be as an animal?
A jackrabbit.
A teddy bear.
A jaguar.
I think I would be a panther because it is one of the most intriguing and elegant animals.
Mrs. Lerood would be an owl because she is really smart and knows everything.
A rabbit.
I think I would be a dog or a puppy. I'm a good friend, I'm loyal, and I'm optimistic and like to be happy.
Based on her personality, what would Mrs. Vavra be as an animal?
I think a ladybug. Whatever a really energetic animal is. Like a cat or something like that.
I think that I would be an otter because they're just kind of relaxed and they just go with the flow, and that's what I try to be.
Based on her personality, what would Mrs. Gregerson be as an animal?
A chameleon.
A fox.
I would be a bald eagle because I can fly wherever I want and nobody eats me.
Mrs. Belky, sarcastic. She's kind of the it girl. I think she's like a cat.
I don't know, a zebra.
I would choose the ostrich because the ostrich can run a marathon in 45 minutes instead of the 4 hours it takes me.
Based on his personality, what would Mr. Thompson be as an animal?
I think he'd be a giraffe.
I would have to say either a lion or a grizzly bear.
Based on his personality, what would Mr. Rolfsoma be as an animal?
A bear.
I think I would be a grizzly bear. just because I've got a really hairy face and I like to eat random stuff and I don't mind a nap every now and then.
Based on his personality, what would Mr. Star be as an animal?
I think he would be a sloth because he's very chill and just laid back.
A kangaroo.
I think I'd be a tiger.
Based on his personality, what would Mr. Nielsen be as an animal?
A raccoon.
I think he gives off snake because he just kind of like slithers through the classroom.
I think I'd have to say an elephant because they're social creatures that they understand emotions, they teach their young things, which is I think is what I'm doing, and I never forget.
My dad will be a tortoise.
Based on his personality, what would Mr. Engen be as an animal?
I think he'd be a gorilla.
Lion, probably.
A shark.
A lion.
I would say a fluffy kitten.
For Highliner News, this is Leah Hochhalter.
Good luck to the Highliner cross country team as they compete at the state meet on Saturday at Parkhurst Recreation Area near Jamestown.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Highliner News. I'm Autumn.
And I'm Ashlyn.